Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Japanese Friendship Garden here in Phoenix, Arizona. Today we're going to do some pruning on a mastic tree. Here in the desert we have a lot of different plant material that we use as garden trees. This particular tree we've been working on for about 7 or 8 years now. You can't tell right now because we should have pruned it probably about 3 weeks ago, but we've been busy with projects and haven't gotten to this one yet. So I thought it was a really good time to show a video of this. And so, you know, like with all pruning or good pruning in Japanese gardens, you know, we want to use what the tree gives us at least to the best extent we can, unless we're of course making, you know, tamamono or something like that out of it. When we started this tree, we looked at what shapes were there, and we have removed a lot of big branches from this, which you'll see later. But we've gone with what the tree gave us, and so there's a sort of interesting curve to the trunk, and then there's some fairly graceful branches that come off to the side. So this is one of the few trees in the garden we can cut really hard every time, and in fact we need to because they grow pretty quickly. And this is also one of the few trees in the garden that we can prune all summer long. So even in July or August, when it's 120 degrees here, this is one of the very few plants in the garden that won't even flinch when we cut it pretty hard. So as always, I'm going to start at the top and work down and out. And so Ray's gonna film a little bit right when I get started, and then we'll go to the GoPro after that, so you can see the time lapse. So come on in, Ray. So not unlike a pine, we've given this guy a head that sort of resembles some of the pines in the garden a little bit. As you can already see, there's a lot going on in here since the last time we pruned it, but it will recover extremely quickly from a good hard prune. And so I'm cutting to laterals, also not unlike a pine tree. And as we move down the tree, we'll cut a little bit less off because the head, of course, grows a lot faster than the base. And depending on which side of the tree we're on, of course, we'll account for that as well. But we do go for a layered look on this. And this is one of those trees that there are parts of it that are quite graceful. And that we definitely want to see, the shape of the trunk, for instance, but there's also parts of it that are still a little coarse, and so depending on where we are, we will leave some more material to hide some of those coarser areas on the tree. But as I'm getting a little further into this, perhaps you can see a little bit that we do have some interesting shapes going on in the branching here, and that we've caused that movement in here through pruning. We don't necessarily want a completely flat, branch or pad, or not to the extent that we might do a pine. And so I'm going to leave a few tachietas and kind of fill out this area, and then just attempt to thin it overall, more so than removing all the vertical growth and making completely flat pads out of it. I want an element of it remaining natural. But as you can see, we're showing the interesting branching here, but we're leaving plenty of green too. It's still pretty coarse in here. There's some pretty ugly old scars, but we're going to do the best we can to highlight the best stuff and get rid of the bad stuff. And so now we're going to switch over to the time-lapse video so you can see the progression. This tree is going to take a little while since we put it off for an extra month or so. But then we'll go over what we did at the end of the video. So thanks for joining us. All right, so I've finished up the mastic, at least for this time around. We'll be back at it in about another month and a half. These grow really quickly, even in the summertime here. But so hopefully you can see that we expose some of the trunk line and the pads of the branches so that we're getting a nice mix of foliage, and then also some of the more appreciable lines of the tree in here. You can see that now there's a much better pattern being cast on the ground as well. So we'll make this tree part of a series moving forward that we'll share with you guys on YouTube. So please let us know if you have questions or comments or anything at all about pruning or the Japanese garden, particularly here in the desert. All right, thank you very much.